Those of you that have been long-term viewers of the Awake and Brave channel would be familiar with the term snake pit. And the snake pit is this place where it's dark, it's dank, it's cold, it's lonely. It's like a very, very deep well. And so when I would have trolls or angry viewers or anybody that wanted to try to upset me or badmouth me to other people, then I would consider them serpents and I would throw them in the snake pit, which was the appropriate domain. And so I pictured them all slithering and shivering, even though they got cold blood in any case, but they're going to be shivering down there and it's pitch black and ooh, and they're all going to be biting each other because they're all different sorts of snakes and everything like that. And so you can imagine it's a living hell in the snake pit. But anyway, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because I feel a little bit softer, and there were few occasions, many occasions maybe, but not that many, you'll see, when I was intolerant on that day, and I read the comment and I thought, oh, I'm just not going anywhere with this one. Or if I would try to communicate with somebody that was considering this and considering that, and you know, all the stuff that people do, then I will just hide that comment. Just hide that comment. I can't even be bothered. But so I'm going to show you who's in there, and then you might recognise your handle, and I'm going to release you all from the snake pit, so you can comment again on the channel if you are indeed still watching the videos. Yeah, you know, we all get in certain dispositions and we all say things that were inappropriate, and you think about it, maybe you shouldn't have said that or something like that. So well, we give people second, third, fourth chances, I suppose, then, don't we? So if we have a look here, and I bring you in a little bit so you can maybe see your name up in lights. Isn't it great? Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's go down, shall we? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 46. So if you can see your name there, now what I'm going to do is I just do this. That takes you out the snake pit. And these people, some of them are Christians. Probably most of them are Christians, to be fair, because that's the biggest region where people get upset with me, and they should have known better than to judge me, because they're not supposed to judge, you see. So I call them hypocrites, and I say, look, this is the thing, one of the bones of contention I have with Christians is that they're hypocrites. So if you are a Christian, then you shouldn't judge, should you? You should just turn the other cheek, and you should forgive and pray for people that upset you. And so some people have said that, and they're still on the channel, and they haven't left, because they realise that, you know, I'm mostly only ever being facetious in any case. I'm not being venomous, I'm just being facetious. So I'm going to save that, and now there is nobody in my snake pit. So, oh, did you want to see my nose? There you go then. So, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, angels and serpents, nobody's in the snake pit anymore, and so whether that makes any difference to any viewers out there, or anybody that wants to reinstate themselves in the comments. You see, there's been many long-term viewers, and if they overexpress themselves and speak about my attributes personally, then I'm like, well, look, I'm always saying that, you know, these videos aren't about me, they're all about you. So if you find something, I'm the portal to enable you to be introduced to yourselves in many, many facets that maybe you haven't considered before in your lives. And when we have biases and we're so overly opinionated and we're judgmental and all these things, well, it's easy to start and all this. And even with long-term viewers that have been around for years, then inevitably with some, if they feel that they are too familiar, and then they want to give me advice, and I'm like, look, I don't take advice. I'm too long in the tooth to be taking advice. I am what I am now, not about to change outside of my own free will or divine insight, whatever we may call it. Why today do I feel softer? Well, I've been feeling softer for about 10 days, I suppose. I'm thinking, should I just clear out the snake pit? Because there's probably a large portion of people that just didn't know what I was about, and they came onto the channel with one of the, you know, religious videos, and then they're all in a tizzy. And so they came and then they went, but there are quite a few long-term viewers in there, and so okay, well, let's try again, shall we? And so yeah, I think most viewers by now, because I've said it so many times, they're starting to get it, that telling me what I am isn't really going anywhere. I've already worked that out a long time ago, and I don't need anybody else to tell me. And if you're going to be telling me things, what you consider me to be, well, that's not going to change the way I run this channel, because what I say it for a reason. There's always a reason behind it, and I've always said I maintain that I endeavour to give you the opportunity to look at yourselves. That's what it's all about. It's about giving you the opportunity to grow. How do we grow? Well, if somebody says something to you that you don't like, and it causes agitation, pain, anguish, whatever within you, well, that's you, isn't it? And so, shouldn't you be looking at that instead of like, Meh! You see, when people do that, they become infuriated. Well, they want to get rid of their fury, and their way of getting rid of their fury is by, you know, and you're this and you're that and you're any number of arsehole. But that doesn't solve your problem, does it? Because another person could say a similar thing, another person, another person, another person, and then you will still be feeling that. So doesn't it make more sense that instead of attacking everybody which is causing you to be upset with yourself and other people, Why don't you go, hang on, why am I being upset by that? Let me have a look at that. What's in my mind? What's in my heart? Do I have biases? Do I have things that I'm clinging on to because of my upbringing and my indoctrination and the societal propaganda? Particularly with these leftist liberals today, they don't like any mention of many of the things that I say. So obviously I'm never going to be popular with them until they've got to resolve on their own issues as to why they feel frail. Now, just one instantiation, because I don't want to labour this. When people have been brought up in households which have been abusive, they often are damaged from that unsettling upbringing. And I had a very unsettling upbringing, but I seem to have took it in my stride. I'm much more open-minded about things, whereas I know I had people close to me who have been brought up in much less of tumultuous environment than I was, and they just can't bear to be around people that raise their voice or look a little bit angry or, you know, are mean in any shape or form. Those are the people that hang around Rupert Spira's channel, and sometimes they fall upon my channel and it's like, oh no, this person's a meanie. And they're not prepared to grow at the level in which I am encouraging people or giving the opportunity to. You see, if you go and sit before Sadhguru Muji and Rupert Spira, they're just going to... you know, they're going to tell you it's all peace and it's love and, you know, acceptance. And they're just going to be taking on the words of bygone prophets, you know, Jesus and Buddha, and they're wanting to receive the acclaim as if they're their words and it's their wisdom. It's not. It isn't. They're just repeating any number of shit. But, you know, what I endeavour to do on my channel is just look at the human beings, and when I'm going about my everyday life, I'll encounter what's going on in here, what's going on in here, and I'll speak about that to see if any of these things you have a relationship with also, and then you can, you know, speak about them or think about them and work them out and all these different sorts of stuff. You know, we all come from, you know, massively different societies, cultures, and you know, under different paradigms of propaganda and all different sorts of things like that. And some of us have had, you know, full-blown indoctrination in the education system, and you have been conditioned in a certain way, whereas other people, if they were like I was, expelled from every school I ever went to, well, that stuff never had any impact on me. They couldn't program me. From the very get-go, they just couldn't program me. I always had my own way of looking at things, and I would just assess the whole thing. And it turns out that my way of looking at things was considerably more reasonable and logical than theirs, because theirs was always based on premises which they never knew. You see, teachers don't know the premise from which they're teaching, because they don't know that they're within the indoctrination hierarchical system. They don't know that, and they don't know they're just parrot fashioning everything that their masters want them to tell us. But when we are a little bit more savvy, then we know that it's just brainwashing going on in these institutions, people. And, you know, I used to have a friend of mine that used to watch the news every day religiously, transfixed, and I'm like, why are you watching that shit? Because I want to know what's going on in the world. Look at me like I'm an idiot for asking that question, which was so elementary. And I said, what's on the news today? Oh, you know, Afghanistan or Kuwait, this and the other. I say, how many countries are there on the world? I said 194, let's say. So how many are you hearing about? You know, for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, you're hearing about America, you're hearing about maybe Britain, maybe France, and then you're hearing about, you know, one of these Middle Eastern countries. That you think that's what's going on in the world? What about what's going on in the Amazon jungle? What about what's going on in the dusty plains of Mali? What about what's going on in any of the countries that you've never heard of, in Europe, for instance? There's a whole bunch of things going on in the world. And so my advice to you is don't watch the propaganda, for goodness sakes. If you want to know what's going on in the world, look on YouTube and just think to yourself, what's going on in the dusty plains of Mali? Put that in, and then all of a sudden a whole new world will open up, and you'll go, my God, I didn't even know that country existed. I didn't even know what it looked like or anything, what the culture was. I just didn't know. So that's what we do, people, if we really want to know what's going on in the world. Or, you know, what I used to do is I used to pick just random books. When I was looking to educate myself, I just used to pick anything and everything which was like historical or philosophical, psychological, spiritual, any of these things. I would just be, I was reading hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books, and I never judged the book by the cover. I just thought, well, I don't know what's in this book, but there's going to be something that I didn't know for sure. And many times I'd read books and I would end up in different states of consciousness, in different parts of the world, with different periods, and it's kind of wow. All of a sudden, you know, now let's say I'm in Belgium, and I'm on a rubber plantation, and I'm looking at all the atrocities that the Belgian overlords of that the Congo, you know, because Belgium claimed the Congo, and then, you know, there's a whole story. There's a prince that was looking for something to get his, you know, fingers into, and he looked long and long and long and long until in the end he stumbled across the Congo with all the richness of minerals and resources, mainly rubber. And so fascinating just to learn about those things, people. So anyway, there's better things to do than getting upset with yourselves and other people. And so when you watch my videos, if you think that whatever I'm saying is wrong, then I don't need to know about that. You will probably be advised to look within your own mind, heart and psychology to see why you thought it's wrong, why certain stuff triggers you and affects you and all this sort of stuff. Because at the end of the day, people, it's all about you. It's not about me. And albeit my videos, as far as you're concerned, lots of you think it's all about you, what you do, what you think, what you eat. But the thing is, what I'm doing here is I'm holding up a mirror, and when I'm showing you what I'm cooking, what I'm eating, you have an opportunity to see a reflection in you. What are you cooking? What are you eating? What could you be cooking better? What could you be eating better? And is there any ideas here that you could be doing? It's not just about watching my videos. Oh, the Awakened Braves ate a burger tonight. Whatever. No, it's kind of like, would you have the taste for that burger? Do you eat burgers? You may be a vegan. You may be vegetarian or whatever, or you may go, fuck yeah, I'm going to have a piece of that, and the next time you're in a supermarket you'll remember, and then something new will come into your life, you see. So that's what it's all about, people. It's all about personal growth. So as long as you always feel yourself, what's going on, and turn your mind around away from me back to you. You see, always consider this loop going on. Look at what I'm saying, what I'm doing, and then bring it back to you and ask yourself, would you like to do that? Are you doing that? What would happen if you did do that? Could I think like that? Could I expand my consciousness in these ways that the Awakened Braves is speaking about? There's a whole bunch of stuff, isn't there? So, there you go, people. At least that's the first video for today. I don't know whether there's going to be any more. Who knows? The cosmos.